Okay, recording this video after close of trade Monday, 20th August 2012. Hope you got a good day's trading today. Well, another dull and boring day. Small range, small volume, only about 0.9 million contracts traded. Look at this. This is on the daily chart, continuous contract, Emini day and night. All these Rambo patterns, amateur up bars kind of going on here. We're still above resistance, which means we're kind of in an uptrend. And on the weekly chart, we've got this pullback to end of trend sequence to mate. This is what I'm seeing on all of the weekly charts, on the risk-on charts. We've got these swings kind of going on in terms of weekly swings, and it's just taking a while to kind of play out. In the meantime, last week was a Rambo kind of up week here. It's kind of not a heck of a lot of demand kind of to push this forward, but in the meantime we're kind of stuck in these really narrow ranges and kind of slow days, which is kind of fairly dull and boring. One of the reasons why I've not been posting very much to the site and putting many videos up, because frankly I'm bored. Anyway, better X trend trailed up the stop after last week's activity, so we've got this kind of trailing up nicely. That is kind of Monday's activity, that's Friday's activity there on the ES. Silver was interesting today. We got a little bit of a pop out of silver. So you can see here we had, this was the testing move. We went up to 50 or high 40s. This is the continuous contract, so it changed the price a little bit, but it was kind of that record high, testing that record high again in silver. We kind of sold off big time, and then we kind of tested back up to 38s, had all this exhaustion buying, and then we've kind of come back down, pull back to end of trend here. Been making our bullish divergence here on the daily chart, Rambo pattern here right at the lows, and then the last few days the activity has been professional down bars here, and they've been holding into that kind of 26, 27 kind of area. We kind of break above it, little test there. It's a little doji amateur bar right there, kind of back in the zone where the professionals kind of picked it up, and then today, bang, got a little bit of a spike through resistance, and so potentially a little bit of a break into an uptrend on silver. It's not particularly being followed by gold. We've got strength in gold. We've had our kind of flush pattern, been messing around between these highs and lows, resistance and support levels here. This latest support level is kind of pretty tight there, so potentially we can get a pop, and silver might be showing that we're kind of getting a pop. But all of these have been amateur kind of up bars into this kind of sequence, so that's not particularly good news. That silver pattern was a lot neater with the professional down bars, and then the amateur bar kind of doji pattern here, and then popping above that was more, but they should be moving in sequence a little bit more. We'll kind of see. And euro's just stubbornly holding below 124. I mean, it could get a pop at some point. The commitment of traders numbers are all very negative in terms of the euro positioning and so on. I don't, and this, if it was going to pop, it would have, if people were really anxious to get on board a strong uptrend that they saw kind of developing, they'd have done it by now. So potentially any kind of pop will be either short-lived or false breakout. So, but it is sitting, that 124 level is kind of pretty key. So we'll kind of wait and see. In terms of Emini and tip bar charts, highest time frame tip bar chart, 40,000 tip bar chart. So the last sequence that we had was exhaustion, selling, bullish divergence. We've just been rallying from there, and then remember those kind of weekly supports on the risk-on charts, which is kind of what's keeping us in this uptrend until something happens. We kind of get into September, early September, and we'll kind of see where those go. Rambo pattern on Friday's activity, we bounced off a support, so resistance becomes support. On the 40,500 tip bar chart, we're still on an uptrend here. If you go down to the 13,500 tip bar chart, the sell-off initially kind of today was into a pullback level in this uptrend, and so we've kind of held at that level at 1410s, kind of rallied on. 4,500 tip bar chart, just going to squeeze this up. I was saying in last week's video, that there was still some activity to go to the upside, because all of the patterns that we'd seen on better momentum have been exhaustion selling patterns. So you can see all the exhaustion selling patterns, all the flush patterns, all the bullish divergence patterns, these little kind of on these spikes, holding us down there below 1400. And so, when we finally got the pop last week above 1400s, or 1405s, it was fairly decent, and now we've got kind of the reverse going on. So we've got exhaustion buying kind of going on with bearish divergence, flush patterns, and so on. So not sure how far this is going to go. The best trades today, best trades on Friday was kind of pre the open, getting into this move here, which topped out at I think it was 16.25 here, and then we kind of fell back during Friday's activity. The best trade on Monday's activity was kind of getting short, kind of pre-open and riding this down. I was actually short at 15.25 as a result of this, and I'll show you that the setup for this one is, so Friday we have exhaustion buying going on and bearish divergence. Got a Rambo pattern right on the close or just on the open on Sunday, but be wary of those, because all that's showing is it is amateur activity, but it's just because there are very low average trade sizes that are going through at that time. But then we kind of top out at about 17-18 around here, and then a big blue professional down bar to get this move going. We test back up into that kind of selling zone, does not hold, and we kind of keep on going through. So we knew after that kind of exhaustion buying activity on the Friday and the professionals selling that peak, that there was going to be a little bit of travel to the downside. So that kind of kept on going. I unfortunately got out of the move halfway through and then reversed, and then had to get out and reverse and go short again, just because that was an amateur down bar that kind of came back up, and I thought, well, maybe it was pulled back to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart, and so we had a blue professional bar kind of come in there. Maybe that was going to hold and kind of rally up, and we tried to break out of that zone but then didn't, and kind of kept on going through. So this is something to look out for. I'm always saying on these time frames, on the 1500 tip bar chart, exhaustion patterns with bullish and bearish divergence patterns, then waiting for the next kind of cyclical kind of support or resistance. They're really nice when this happens on a left shoulder of a down move, and then you see pull back to end of trend, and then that end of trend is usually a high probability kind of reversal point. In this case, you can see we've got the exhaustion happening on the support level, and then the bullish divergence kind of comes in. In this case, all you have to do is wait for the second cyclical turn after that. So it's showing, the market showing that it's that down move breakdown is being driven by the amateurs with Rambo patterns, potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So the amateurs are selling that breakdown. We kind of go the other way. We get a Rambo pattern here, just showing that we're in a little bit of a congestion zone here. We come back into that area where we had the professional bars kind of coming in, and there we go, a couple of blue professional bars kind of anxious to get on board this. Bang, a little bit of a gathering. We break above that after exhaustion, selling on the downside, getting out the last of those sellers. We've done enough damage to the downside, tested, got rid of all the sellers there, and bang, we're away to the upside. This exhaustion buying is just people anxious to short cover, get on board this rally, and so on. So that's not suggesting that's the end of this move. That's just the first kind of exhaustion buying signal after this uptrend kind of gets going. So we get a little bit of weakness after there. Bullish divergence right on the zero line, support level here. Bang, we kind of keep on going through. So I think we've still got some strength kind of going forward into tonight, tomorrow. See where that kind of goes. But that was the kind of a nice kind of reversal sequence there. So I was short at 15.25, took profits at 13, then reversed and went long at 13.5 and had to get out at 12.75, then reversed and went short. And caught a couple on the way down here. That's kind of what you have to do on kind of slow days like this. Kind of take a couple here, lose one there, and kind of make it out at the end of the day with a few in your pocket. So I hope you traded well today. Not sure there's any point in kind of putting on. I'll maybe add on the first of those trades, just kind of the setup to that trade. I didn't trade it perfectly. I should have traded it to that exhaustion selling point, but I just lost confidence here at this point here. Anyway, good luck with your trading over the next couple of days, and just I'm not expecting very much in terms of ranges and activity, just kind of sitting on my hands a lot of the time. So I think that's what we just have to do in the circumstances. We've just gone short 15.25, short 15.25, and what is it? It is 6:23 AM Chicago time, so a couple of hours before the open. The reason for getting short, we had a little bit of run up on the 500 tip bar chart. We had this little run up into 17.18, blue professional bars on the upside, exhaustion buying, bearish divergence kind of comes in, and they had this big blue professional bars, professionals selling down, anxious to short it at this point, and then we had this nice little rally up, just a testing up, but you can see it was driven by amateur bars on the way back up to 17, and now we're just coming through support on the 500 tip bar chart there. 1500 tip bar chart, there's that blue professional bar. We kind of rallied back into it at 17, and then we're coming back down, breaking the lows of that, and we've had our exhaustion buying. Friday's range was extremely small, but we did end the day with kind of exhaustion buying, and overnight, the Sunday into the Monday, we've had Rambo patterns, bearish divergence, a little bit of a rally back up to that 18 level and kind of coming down. 4500 tip bar chart, same kind of thing. The end of Friday, bunch of blue professional bars, but that could be just closing out positions at the end of the week, and then we've got that kind of bearish divergence kind of rolling over here. So we're coming with a few bars off support on the 1500 tip bar chart. We're breaking through support on 500, so I'm hoping for a trend break on the 500 tip bar chart to kind of take us down. It's going to be super slow, not only because it's been a slow 2-3 weeks, but also it's kind of a couple of hours before the open. But let's see if I can just kind of jump on board a little bit of a move that sees a little bit of trending this way. So just short 1525.